Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to look at the power of the state of Texas for not really the 2020 election. I'll explain the reasons for that, but for elections going forward. This is why we've got the 2024 electoral map up right now, and really see the power of it if it can go to the Democrats, if it can flip, which it's all the trends suggest that it's going to. Whether that be 4 years or 8 years, we'll take a look, but yeah, so that's going to be the point of this video. So we'll start really by looking at how it's trended so far. So we'll go to 2012 first. So as you can see here, the map, here's the map. Romney beat Obama here by about 16. So quite a convincing win. It wasn't really in contention at this point, or even looked like it was going to trend like it was, as it was actually a heavier win for Romney than McCain won it by in 2008. So this was the percentages here. So Romney really kind of smashed Obama here. But then moving to 2016, we actually saw a pretty big narrow down. One of actually only 11 states that Hillary Clinton improved on the 2012 Democrat result for in Texas. She lost by the smallest margin than any Democrat since actually 1996 with Bill Clinton. So that was quite a big shock to see, considering what the rest of the country did and how far it lent to Trump. That actually Texas went the other way. It shows, supported by the fact that a lot of the South did the same. With places like Arizona and Georgia, both trending relatively heavily to the Democrats as well. But Texas was one of the biggest ones of all for 2016. And then actually you can see with the 2018 Senate race result that Ted Cruz only beat Beto O'Rourke by a couple of points, 2.6%, with Cruz being an incumbent as well, which was quite a shocking margin, especially considering the polling data here. So Texas, this was the 2018 race. The RCP average actually had Cruz up by 6.8, and then the final result was only 2.6. Of a pretty narrow victory. That data would suggest that 2020 could actually flip, especially considering things like Clinton's unpopularity in 2016, and yet she's still improved by such a huge margin, and the fact that Trump isn't, well, you could say he's not the right candidate for the likes of Texas. Especially considering that Cruz only won by 2.6, yet he would be the kind of candidate that you would think would do well in Texas, as it's like in a presidential race. But the fact he only won by that margin really does suggest that Texas is trending to the Democrats. So the idea that Trump isn't the right candidate can only really have so much merit. The 2018 polling data had a 4.4% error in the polling, quite a big contrast to 6.8 compared to the actual win of 2.2. O'Rourke really did run up the margins in the big five counties. So he beat Cruz here by about 22 points in the big five, and Clinton by about 6 as well. So really the path to a Democratic victory, it looks like in either 2024 or later, would come from victories in those big five counties, even larger than possibly O'Rourke won by, as well as improving on margins in the more kind of rural areas. So now we'll take a look at the 2020 polling, which actually has Trump only up by 1.4. Again, looking at this, you would say, well, why can't it flip in 2020? But I think this is likely to increase as we get closer and closer to November. I think Biden's a decent candidate for the state, but I do think it's still too early for the Democrats to take it on a national election, where turnout's a lot higher and there's a lot more enthusiasm for the Republicans as well. So really, in conclusion, I feel like while it's not a toss-up now, or will be for 2020, I think 2024 it has a very good chance of being a toss-up, and then 2028 I see it definitely being in contention for parties. So we're going to take a look at the 2024 map here. Oh, forgot to fill in Hawaii. So we've got this was the 2016 result mapped on the 2024 projected electoral vote map. So you've got the Republicans on 309 and the Democrats on 226. So a 3 vote advantage for the Republicans with this map. But Texas itself has actually increased by 3 votes. So the power of it going to the Democrats is pretty huge, as you can see by... forgot to fill in Maine as well. As you can see by just Texas flipping, the Democrats would win. Same for it, and that was the same for 2016, where Clinton, despite losing the important 3 Rust Belt states, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, if she'd by some miracle won Texas, for example, she would have actually still won the election. And 2024, the importance of that gets even greater with the 3 Rust Belt states losing electoral votes in Michigan, Pennsylvania specifically, and Texas actually gaining 3. So it's pretty insane the impact that it can have. That the Democrats can lose these 3 states and still win, and lose states like Florida, Arizona, which looks like more likely to go to them sooner than Texas even. So if Arizona went to them, I mean, you've got an even larger margin, meaning that the Democrats can lose Florida. Georgia they can lose, which is another one that looks like it's trending towards them. So even if the Democrats lost a state like New Hampshire in this scenario, Nevada, Minnesota, Minnesota, it would go to the Republicans altogether, unless with the Republicans winning Wisconsin, and then Nevada would make it a tie in this scenario. So really, you can see here how Texas is such a powerful kind of tool for the Democrats if they are able to win here. So we'll just go back to the map of... I'm missing New Hampshire. So this back to the 2016 map. And then the other thing I wanted to point out was if the Democrats were able to win Florida, which also gains electoral votes, as well as Texas in the near future, I mean, it really gives the Republicans no real way of getting to no realistic chance of winning the presidency. I mean, they'd have to win Minnesota, New Hampshire, Maine, Nevada, and they're still not there. They'd have to win, even with Colorado, they're still not there. So the power of Texas and Florida, if you add Florida on alongside it, really does make it so difficult for the Republicans. And I do think you could see the Republicans flipping their stance on something like the Electoral College, were the Democrats to take a hold on Texas, because in this scenario you could see the Republicans winning the popular vote, yet losing the Electoral College, with them carrying so many states, but just the big ones going to the Democrats. You know, you've got California, Texas, Florida, New York, Illinois, all going to them. And it would be such a tough job for the Republicans to then recover from. And I mean, as we can see from the various data, that it really does look like it's getting to the point where the Democrats can win Texas in the next kind of 4 or 8 years' time. And then Florida, the state of Florida has always been a toss-up. So it could be pretty darn difficult for the Republicans to get back from it. So we'll see what happens, I guess. We'll see what happens in 2020. See if it gets closer than 2016. I don't think it'll be as close as 2018 for various reasons, but see where it is on a presidential level, and project from there kind of whether it can go to the Democrats in the next kind of 4 or 8 years' time. So thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you in the next video. Let me know what you think in the comments, and like the video if you enjoyed.